right, well, let's do some grammar. Today we're going to learn about infinitives. And infinitives are to plus a verb. Now the verb is no longer acting as a verb. This to plus a verb is now acting as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. I know that's kind of a stinker, but I'll give you some ideas and suggestions on how to be successful with infinitives. I personally think these are the hardest ones, so that's why I kind of teach them towards the end. So an infinitive is to plus a verb, and to sometimes acts as a preposition, but if it's to plus a verb, it's no longer acting as a preposition, it's acting as an infinitive. And an infinitive phrase, which would be level 3, is the infinitive and all of its modifiers. So let's get started and let me see if I can show you how to do it. So you would like to travel. You is a personal pronoun. Would is a helping verb. Like is an action verb. Okay, I'm going to come back to travel in a minute because this is to plus the verb. Travel would be the verb, okay? All right, you is your subject. Would like is your action verb predicate, okay? You would like to travel right here is acting as your direct object. Does that make sense? Well, what can be a direct object? It can either be a noun or a pronoun. So in that case, to travel is acting as a noun because it's a direct object. Now, here's the kicker. This is an infinitive only. It's not a phrase. Remember, we only do phrases here. We don't do the infinitive. So if you want to identify it as an infinitive only, that's fine, or you could have said no phrases. All right. You have one subject predicate set, which makes it an independent clause, and a simple declarative. Okay? All right, we'll try the next one and see how we do. To colonize, colonize would normally be a verb, but in this case it's got to plus the verb, so it's acting as an infinitive, so we can start with infinitive here, but let's see how far we get. Mars is a noun, is a linking verb, a is an article adjective, real is an adjective modifying possibility, which is a noun. Okay? Let's go to our predicate, is. Who or what is? And we could do is, possibility, we can do predicate noun. Okay? So we finished the back half of the sentence. Let's look at the first half of the sentence. We're looking for the subject. What is? This idea of to colonize Mars, that's your subject. To colonize Mars is your subject, and therefore the subject is a noun, and to colonize Mars is going to be your infinitive phrase. Okay, another thing I want to show you is anytime we have a noun up here, you're used to having something underneath it, right? On level 2, like possibility was a noun, we have a predicate nominative down here. So much like you have an object of the preposition, you can have the object of the infinitive. If your brain requires to have something under the noun, you can put the object in the infinitive if that makes you feel better. You have one subject predicate set, which makes this an independent clause, and a simple declarative. Okay, because an infinitive can be a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. My completists, my mathematicians, really like to go left to right on level 1 and finish it all. And unfortunately, when it comes to phrases, because they could be this or this or this, you kind of have to do those type of things last, and that kind of drives you guys nuts. But if you slow down and trust me, you'll be okay with this. All right, science is an adjective modifying writer. Fiction is an adjective modifying writer, and writers is a noun. Wrote is an action verb. About little green Martians is going to be a prepositional phrase. About is a prep. Little is an adjective modifying Martians. Green is an adjective modifying Martians, and Martians is a noun. You know me, I like to get rid of my prepositional phrases, so Martians is the object of the preposition. About little green Martians is a prepositional phrase, and this is an adverb prepositional phrase because it's modifying wrote. To scare. Scare would normally be a verb, but in this case, to plus a verb, it's acting as an infinitive, so we can start infinitive here if you want. And who did it scare? Readers. So readers are going to be your noun here. Okay, let's see. Who or what wrote? Writers wrote. Writers wrote. This is asking, why did they write? Why did they write? So pull out your, it's answering why, pull out your cheat chart. and go to, oops, we want to go to the front. We're looking for the question why. Which answers the question why? Well, a noun doesn't answer, so we know it can be an infinitive phrase. It could be a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. Well, it's not a noun because it's answering the question why. An adjective answers what kind, how many, which one. An adverb answers how, when, where, to what extent. Let's see. Why did they write? Let's see. So that would answer the question to what extent. So why? So that would be an adverb. Okay? So this is an infinitive phrase. Oops, I wrote that in the wrong line. This is an infinitive phrase. Right here. Answering why they wrote. And if you need to, this is the object of the infinitive. Okay? You have one subject predicate set, which makes this an independent clause, and a simple declarative sentence. Okay? Last one for today. All right. I is a personal pronoun. Took is an action verb. Time is a noun. To read. Read would normally be a verb, but in this case with to, it's an infinitive. An is an article adjective. Old is an adjective modifying book. Science is an adjective modifying book. Fiction is an adjective modifying book. And book is a noun. Took is your action verb predicate. Who or what took? I took time. All right, so what is the rest of this doing? To read an old science fiction book is modifying what time did you take. So that is going to be an adjective. And this whole thing is going to be an infinitive phrase. And if you need to, book would be the object of the infinitive. You have one subject predicate set, which makes it a simple declarative sentence. I know, clear as mud.